I'm up against the fight of my life. I'm so afraid to sleep at night. You won't get away. It's time for me to let it out. I refuse to run and hide. I must let it out. I refuse to run and hide. All the weight is lifted off my shoulders. I will not hold this in any longer. I know you thought that it would kill me, but
welcome everybody. Good evening. I am your host, Tobocious Rochester. Welcome to Let It Out. I hope everybody had a wonderful week and everybody's safe and all. And if you have any videos, please submit them to submissions@plugstudionetwork.com. Also, we have a special guest, Buttercup, in the house this evening. Welcome.
Thank you, Tobocious. Thank you for inviting me here.
You're welcome.
On this fine evening.
You're welcome. And also, guys, today's topic is about abused and dealing with mental health. That's a lot, right?
Yeah.
All in one. Dealing with it, it's a lot. Also, you know how Tobocious is. What's my word? I want to be all up in your business. So this is what we're going to do today.
Mm-hmm.
So share this video. It's going to be a hot topic today. And we're going to go ahead and welcome. I got to give somebody a shout out, you guys. I'm going to give a shout out to Fleet by Mocha. I haven't tried them yet. I will do that very soon, but we're going to do this. We're going to wear them, and I'm going to take money of pictures. But anyway, you guys, we're back. And like I said, welcome. Please share this today. This is something that everyone needs to hear. Abuse is something that goes on every minute, every second of the day. Even with this pandemic, it's even worse. Everybody in one huddle together, long time, no space. So that's a lot of friction right there too. Mental health, the arguing, the name calling, and your mind is all over the place because you don't know how to feel at that point in time. Okay, because you're like, right. Dad, you're hurting my feelings. You're making me go where I don't want to be. Okay. So we're going to do this today, and I'd like to know how you're doing, and I know we've talked many of times.
Mm-hmm.
This is my best friend, and I'm her sister. We're sisters from another mother, and you have to be there for one another when you're going through things. And I've been there for her, and I'm glad I am one of those chosen to be there for you. And I'm going to continue that. So just
I was chosen too. We chose.
Each other.
We chose each other.
And just know that. So tell me about, where you're from, if you like. It's up to you.
I'm from Wilmington.
Okay.
I had 4 sons.
Okay.
2 are deceased. I have 2 left. Praying for them every second, every minute of the day, for their safety and well-being, because these streets is not kind to us.
That's true.
And I'm married.
Okay.
Very miserable.
Okay.
Because the abuse don't stop. It don't stop with a fist or a threat. The mental, emotional is something that holds on like somebody's beating you with a meat cleaver.
Exactly.
And they tenderizing that meat until it falls apart.
Right.
So it's hard trying to stay focused when you do so much grieving. With the losses of my other two children and my dad and other family members that I've lost, my brothers. It's hard for me to focus in on the day-to-day operations and tasks that I need to do without the support that I need. And with the military background that he comes from, he don't have no sympathy. It's like a mute face. Like, next. And it doesn't help, especially a woman. Men know how to take it better than we do. And so when I'm grieving, I feel like I'm locked in a box by myself with nobody to talk to. I can't let it out. I mean, I love your show.
Thank you.
I love your show. Let it out.
That's right.
It's bad that you can't, have a one-on-one conversation with your significant other to, tell about how you're feeling and get the consolements that you need on a daily basis. But I'm just dealing with it.
Right. Now, question for you. When did all this start? The verbal,
4 months after we was together.
Are you
bought the house, and it just, everything went in shambles.
That fast?
I actually, when you in love, or you fall, well, I fell hell over heels for him. But when your mind is not focused, I had just got over my grieving sons. And they both died at separate times, but that loss don't never get no better.
Exactly.
And I feel like I was reeled in, and I was good where I was at. I was driving trucks. I lived in Maryland. I had my own house, and, he kind of swept me off my feet. And then once we got the house together, it was, let me show how what's really going on.
You're going to see the real
me. I can't cuss on here, but
you're going to see the real me.
Yeah. I found out who he really was. It was his representative that I met.
Okay. Yes.
And it's hard for me to get it out of my mind because that's the person that I fell in love with.
Yes.
We each other say hurtful things back and forth to each other all the time. We can't get nothing said because we're yelling back and forth with each other. But the love ain't never
there.
It's not there, and I lost the love for him, and now it's just an arrangement.
Now, an arrangement. So with this arrangement, meaning I'm getting you don't sleep together.
Absolutely not. Separate rooms, it's all been a game to him. And I don't got time to play games. And I always say, I didn't sign up for this. And I don't want to check out of here with somebody else's toe tag.
Right.
Living somebody else's life.
Yes, exactly.
Instead of my own.
Right.
So my thing is, whatever you do to somebody, it will come back on you. As recent as, this week, I had a disc replacement in my neck because my husband choked me 2 years ago and still fails to admit what he did or say, I'm sorry.
Just a little word.
So it's hard to even, get past that part. Say I'm sorry, let's move on, and you better not do it again. You know what I mean? And it's like people ask me, why are you still there? We're just in an arrangement. Because that's what he wanted. I didn't sign up for this. And I'm always getting slighted and talked to any kind of way. But in front of people,
it's different.
He's a whole different person.
Yes.
It's hard to prove my case.
Exactly.
The judge done dropped the grab. That's it. Yeah. It's over.
Oh, He's good.
He's real good.
Yeah.
So, I just wanted to share a little bit of my story, not to just be putting my business out on Front Street, but, some women need to know you got to get out at some point in time. You got to love you more than you love the lifestyle, the materialistic things that, might be thrown at you and stuff like that, because I was pampered all the way down a mile down the road. You know what I mean? And then you just drop the ball and say, the heck with her.
That's terrible. That's a terrible thing. Now, question for you also, with you guys going at it verbally a lot and things like that, and amongst other things, have you been like in a the mental health part, suicidal?
I have several times, and I'm in therapy.
Awesome.
I have a psychiatrist. It's bad, with this COVID thing.
Yeah.
You can't be hands-on because I don't like the Zoom thing. But, I get through the best way I know how.
Exactly.
At one point,
Yes.
this fool had me drinking and getting high and everything, trying to control
The narcotics,
the depression and anger and anxiety. And it wasn't helping me. And I just had to start fighting back.
I'm glad you did that.
I had to start fighting back, and I don't know. It's just a sad situation, even, how he tries to put his situation to the forefront and blame me for everything, to turn my family against me and everything like that. And it's sad. It's sad. Fess up to your mess.
Right.
I am.
Exactly.
I'm letting it all out.
Yes. I'm glad you decided to come on the show to let it out, because I've seen you hurting. I've seen you down to your lowest where you're like breaking down, and I don't like seeing you like that. I'm not used to seeing you like that. I'm used to seeing you with this beautiful smile that she does have. There's a lot of talent behind this woman. Okay?
I'm a happy-go-lucky, free-spirited person, but it's taken me from who I am.
Yes, exactly. Now, with the therapy and everything, is that helping you? Or?
It was helping and stuff. My therapist kind of is missing in action right now. Okay. She had a baby, I guess, in April. Okay. And then since the COVID, I haven't been able to be in contact with her. So my therapist and my psychiatrist is at one office now. Okay. So I started with someone that was really helping me, but now I have to settle, because really it's hard for the resources to be there.
Exactly, and that's true.
So it's hard. It's hard. I mean, you got to take it one day at a time, 1 minute at a time, second at a time, because you never know what's going to be thrown your way in your path. And it's rough.
Yes.
Even when I see somebody on the street and, they holding up a sign, or I was at the supermarket the other day and this lady was counting all these pennies and she only had like $5 worth of groceries. And I just put the money right there, Miss. Here you go. Yeah. You got to give back.
Exactly.
And, for God to continue to bless you and keep you.
That's right.
But everybody don't think that way.
Exactly.
They don't miss their well until it run dry.
Exactly. Now, also with your medications and things like that, are you constantly taking them? Or are you tapering, like you're backing off a little bit? Hello. Are you oh, they're saying they can't hear us. Are you taking your medications a lot? Are you bearing off from it, or
because of the COVID situation and I have an autoimmune?
Okay.
I haven't been able to take all my medications.
Okay.
Only thing, like folic acid and my B12s and stuff like that. But
Right.
the other medications that lower your immune system because it is COVID, I haven't been able to take.
Right.
And it also helps with your joint and muscles,
Okay.
with your body aching. And I can't take any of those medications.
Right.
So it's an unusual situation. I haven't worked in 2 years
Right.
because of my disease.
Okay.
And I'm back and forth to Johns Hopkins getting treatments and stuff like that, but it don't get no better. The more stressed that you are,
Yes.
the more aggressive my disease is.
Okay.
So I have to take it one day at a time.
Okay.
I'm in pain right now. Like I said, I just had a
Yes.
disc replacement a week
Yes.
ago.
Yeah.
My arms is aching, but I feel like I needed to really be here instead of being on the phone
I'm glad.
to let it out and
Let
get
it out.
something said.
Yes.
Yes.
So, I'm like I said, I'm happy that you decided to do that because you surprised me last week. That was a beautiful thing. You surprised me, and you were like, "I'm coming." Oh my gosh, you made my heart.
I was coming. We need to stick together,
We do,
especially during this pandemic.
do.
But
We do.
sisters need to stick together,
Yes, we do.
no matter
We do.
what,
Yes,
and keep
we
each
do.
other uplifted and encouraged.
Right.
So we're not committing suicide.
Right.
We're not staying until we're beat to death or
Exactly.
bashed with a gun
Right. Yeah.
or stabbed up or anything like that.
Worse. Yeah.
It works on our mental situation. And my mom, she did 28 years in the service. She ain't raised no punks.
Right. Exactly.
Me and my sister been strong the whole time, and he got my goat,
Right.
and I got to take my goat right back.
Right. That's what you got to do. You got to do it.
I got to take it back.
You gotta, and I'm so happy that you're doing just that. Now,
Absolutely.
So what are you doing to, make time for yourself to get away? Like when things get heated, what do you do? Do you go somewhere? What do you do? I know what you do, but I want
I
you to tell
take
the people.
drives.
Okay.
I cook.
Okay.
I, do locks if somebody wanted their hair done.
Keep yourself.
I have to multitask all of these things, and he says to me all the time, you don't need to clean the house is already clean, but you clean the house and you rearrange things, and just to keep your mind occupied. And I chant.
Yeah.
I believe in Christianity, but I've been practicing Buddhism since 2012.
Okay.
And if I didn't have this practice in my life, I don't think I'd be here right now. Because when my son was killed by the Latin Kings, they threatened my life. And I had to go in isolation.
Right.
I couldn't really talk to anybody, couldn't call anybody except my boyfriend at the time. And that's all I had really to keep me grounded.
Right.
And I've been brought up in the church all my life and everything, but it's hard to get the same thing from the church that you get. The meditation is the strongest point that I get out of the practice.
Okay.
And trying to be consistent because
that's your time.
that's my time.
That's your time.
And I have to keep my altar in my office.
Okay.
Because it's not respected.
Right. Okay. Now, that's a beautiful thing because that's your way of releasing, at that moment. That's your time, like I said, and I believe anybody who wants that time, you have your little sanction where you go for that moment to release some things and let it out on your own, in your own little space. Like I have a room in my house where I go in there and I pray. I have a prayer room, and that's my time. I'm like, honey, I'll be back. I gotta go and do this.
That's right.
This is my time. So and that does help. Prayer does help, and no matter how you're doing it, what religion, long as you're doing it.
Long as you're doing it.
Yes. Exactly,
Absolutely.
Exactly.
It keeps your mind
Yes.
focused and grounded.
Yes, it does.
Because if not, you all over the place. You know, sometimes I drive, I sleep in my car sometimes.
Yes.
You know, and people's like, what? Yeah, I go to the gas station most of the time down on by Route 1. And just the girls, they know me.
Right.
So I shut my eyes or go in a parking ride and just have a pause moment for myself.
Right.
So that, you know, that woosah moment.
Yeah.
You know, and think things through and how should I do this and how should I do that, even though the devil is always working.
Yeah,
it's always busy.
Yes, constantly, you know, and you know, I've also seen where, you know, like you were stating, you know, the man has a way of tricking others that everything is okay, that he respects you, he's treating you right, he's doing the things that he's supposed to do as a man. So he's, you know, he's not showing that.
He has everybody fooled.
That mean side, that anger side, you know, of that person, you know, at that moment, you know, because you don't know how to take it. You're like, wait a minute. Well, I can't tell by the way, like we discussed it earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, it's done.
It's done.
It's done.
That's it.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's bad when a relationship is one-sided.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a give and take situation that you have to, you know, take the good with the bad, you know, give in sometime, be submissive, but he ain't deserving of nothing.
Right.
Submissive.
Right.
You know, you treat me like garbage when you at work and then you come home and say, hey, that's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde all the way. Some people, you know, and one of the things I've said is that I think that he has PTSD. And it's bad when you can't admit when
You're wrong.
you got stuff wrong with you to get help. That's the only way you can fix it.
And a lot of people don't want to do that. They can't say, I don't need, you know.
They drop the ball on everybody else.
I'm good.
But
I'm
most
fine.
people in the service, you know, and he's done 25 years as a drill sergeant. Okay. So, you know, even his work now, people say, why does he talk to people like that? Why does he yell at people like that? And stuff like that, because he don't know how to talk to people unless he's trying to serenade
like he's in charge.
One of those women. You know, instead of, you know, treating your wife like that. Yeah. You could go out in the street and treat other people with dignity and respect. Give me some.
Exactly.
And the first person without sin cast the first stone.
That's right.
Ain't none of us perfect. Exactly. So how can you be so quick to judge somebody or treat them bad or not forgive them? I've prayed and I forgave him for the things that he's done to me, but I don't have that back. And I feel like I'm in denial.
Right.
Just staying. But I can't preach to other women. Right. Don't check out of here with somebody else's toe tag and don't settle for this and settle for that. You know, even the mental, emotional abuse sometimes is worse than the physical abuse.
It is. All
I'd rather
all of it hurts.
Beat me up. Black my eyes.
I can't.
It could be over, you know, so the pain will stop. Right. But that pain is still every day.
It is.
2 years, you haven't even admitted what you did. And then you want to take care of me now.
Why?
I don't know. It's the guilt or something. I don't know.
Why?
I don't know.
Why do you want to take care of me now?
But, you know, I didn't really want to let all this out, but you know, it's out.
That's what the show is about.
You know what I'm saying? And I had to be honest with you and myself when I came. So I gave it all to you, girl.
I'm glad you did that. You know, because some people are afraid to do that. You know, to let people hear what they've really been through, and some people aren't. You know, and it's not good to hold it in. You got to let it out to somebody you can, you know, feel free to talk and tell them what you've been through without them, you know.
And I thought that's what my husband was, but not. I thought all of the abuse that I've been through, being beat with guns, being put outside with no clothes on when I just had my son.
Ridiculous.
Back in 92.
Yes.
I done had my jaw broke at 5 months pregnant.
That's horrible.
And when I met Russell, I thought that my prayers were finally answered, and I was wrong. Right. It makes you standoffish and not really let your guard down and trust somebody else, because of everything that you've been through. It's like, yo, I ain't taking this no more.
Right.
You know,
It's time to...
and it takes a while for you to open up that door.
Yes, exactly.
For anybody else after everything that I've been through. It's
hard to have that trust when you're trying to start something new. Your guard is always up, because I've been through that myself, to where you're having a conversation, like you're getting a little argument or what have you, and next thing you know, you're yelling, and that takes me back. I'm like, pump your brakes, calm down. And then, my significant other was like, oh my God, I just took you back, didn't I? Yeah, you did. He said, I didn't mean to. He said, I sounded like that. I said, at first it scared me. So I thought, you were yelling at me, but he wasn't. It's just the way he talks.
The tone.
Yeah, the tone. He's like, oh my God, really, babe? I'm like, yeah. So,
it don't have to be like that all the time.
No.
Especially when you're talking as calm as you are now, and blah, 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 they start barking. Just pipe it down a little bit. You don't have to talk to me like that. But they don't understand. I even go as far as sleeping with my door locked. I used to be beat in my sleep.
Sound familiar?
And I woke up the other day and he was standing right over top of me.
Oh my God.
So some things you get afraid, and it alarms you. And probably for the last 10 years or so, I've slept with my door locked. Wow. But the things that I go through on a daily basis is mentally draining. And I get a good cry, and I try to do it most times when I'm home by myself, or even go and pray, because he'll make fun of me when I'm in my altar room and I'm praying, and it's all religion, whether you Muslim, Baptist, Christianity, Seventh-day Adventist, Buddhist, we all praying. Don't matter who you praying to. As long as it's for you.
Right.
Everything is not for everybody, and I thank God for having a practice in my life.
Right.
I mean, it worked for Tina Turner.
Yeah.
And she was chanting that Nam Yoho Renge Kyo. Especially because she was being abused and beat.
That was her way. That was her way of healing.
That was her way of healing and having that meditation, because the abuse is real. And you get tired of crying and hurting and, just saying, God, please take me. In the last month, I said, I don't feel like I don't have anything left for anybody who loves me or cares about me.
Right.
And I just didn't want it. Sometimes you just feel so isolated, all alone. Yes. Every time I go to cemetery, it's hard to leave. Yeah. So I ain't been in about 6 months.
That's your baby in there, of course.
That's your child. And people say, oh, just get over it.
You can't
and
get
stuff
over
like
it.
that. And that's that military part. But losing children is something that you can never get over, forget. Yes. You think it'll get easier. But I lost my first one in 94. And then to have to revisit that same thing in 2016, it feels like it just happened yesterday. Because ever since 94, I worked 3 jobs my whole life. and it kept me busy not to think about the grief. And when I got sick and I couldn't work for the last 2 years, it came front and center, right back.
Right.
And to feel like I have to hide my grieving and what I say to people, and and on the holidays and stuff, or the death anniversaries.
That's the worst time.
This year was the first time, mystery night, that I did a Halloween thing for my siblings and for my grandbaby and stuff like that. Because I hide. I haven't did a Halloween since, because the day after my son died, I still took my kids trick-or-treating that next day. And it's devastating. It doesn't get any better. You pray along the way, but I just wanna be loved and have somebody to console me, through my tears.
Okay.
Yes. And it's hard to do that, especially with people with military backgrounds.
You know what, guys? We're gonna take a break real quick. We're gonna play a video called "Let Me Live" by Big Groove. And welcome Raphael James in the house as well. So we'll be back in a few seconds.
Through hell and I had no heaven. Y'all tripping.
I've been through it all, yeah. Highs, lows, selling back. You can bet I stay solid through it all, yeah. And I'm still here. I got the right for me to feel like I'm the one, yeah. Look at where we from, yeah. You can let me live.
They said I wouldn't be alive to see 25. Newsflash, I'm alive and watching my money rise. Gang full of funny guys. I ain't in the laughing mood. Handyman, I pack a tool. Show you what this ratchet do. I just wanna chill and get topped off. Buy a bad and bougie, brought a Gucci, ain't a knockoff. Is that too much to ask for? Nigga, what you mad for? You the one that wanna see a limit on my cash flow. Same nigga smiling in my face like congrats, bro, but throwing hella shade as soon as I turn my back, though. It's hard to remain humble when you have 1,000,001 niggas aiming at you. How can you not become an asshole? Looking at my past, yo, I ain't never ever going back broke. Put that on everything I love, and on that note, I had to separate the real from the fake, the love from the hate, my dogs from the snakes.
I've been through it all, yeah. Highs, lows, selling back. You can bet I stay solid through it all, yeah. And I'm still here. I got the right for me to feel like I'm the one, yeah. Look at where we from, yeah. Nigga, let me live. Let me live, 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 let me live. Let me live, let me live, let me live, let me live, let me live.
They said I'd probably go to prison, do a life sentence. Newsflash, I'm out here chilling, plotting on millions, follow my vision. Now they calling like, what's up with you, Gov? I see you got a little buzz, I'm trying to fuck with you. What time you hanging out? I'm trying to live it up with you. It's all love till you tell them spin a buck with you. That's when the true colors show. They start throwing subliminal shots and wonder why I walk around with trust issues. I used to have a clique of 50 niggas. 50 niggas eventually dwindled down to 10. And we in the trenches, getting to the chick is strictly business. Balling on niggas senseless, similar to the 04 Pistons. It's a fact when you do something great. Niggas' hearts pump jealousy, eyes show envy. You spot it from a mile away. That's when you separate the real from the fake, the love from the hate, your dogs from the
I've been
snakes.
through it all, yeah. Highs, lows, selling back. You can bet I stay solid through it all, yeah. And I'm still here. I got the right for me to feel like I'm the one, yeah. Look at where we from, yeah. Nigga, let me live. Let me live, 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 let me live. Let me live, 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 let me live.
We are going to bring her back next week because we need to finish this.
Yes,
It's
yes,
really
yes.
horrifying for her, and to see her break down and finally letting it out, and because I see her pain.
Right.
I feel her pain
Right.
as well. So what's your point of view on the abuse part and the mental health part of the situation in a man's perspective?
Yeah, it's one of those things where first, you kind of have to learn and try to forgive yourself.
Yeah.
That part is absolutely the hardest part first.
Exactly.
To forgive yourself,
Yeah.
because you're not going to be able to forgive the abuse.
Exactly.
You're not going to get past the abuse unless you forgive yourself, because you're going to have to build from that.
Exactly.
And it's a lot. It is a lot. When men go through it, a lot of them play it off.
Okay.
They walk away from it. They play it off as if it didn't happen. Like I said before, a lot of guys can't believe that it happened. So they don't know how to forgive.
Right.
They don't know how to really just pretty much move into it.
Yeah.
To try to forgive.
Right.
So
Everybody,
they'll keep playing it off first
Crown
before they
Royal
even try.
presents Food for Thought.
So when
We have a special episode.
when a lot of these men who don't understand that you abuse or have hurt anyone, the problem comes in after that is, what do you do to forgive yourself
Right.
for hurting that person?
Right.
And a lot of them don't know. They don't know how to. It's real deep, because mental health itself
Yes. Alone.
takes away. It's just as strong as the abuse,
Yes.
because after that you start abusing yourself.
Punishing your own.
Exactly. Just like the young lady who called in last time said that she was looking for her man to start beating on her,
Yes.
because
she was so used to.
right, it takes it away. She can't forgive
Right.
or get past the
Right.
first part.
Right.
So she's looking for it to happen again
Exactly.
and again. And there's a lot of women that's out there that's like that. And I'm not just saying that just from my point of view, saying just men. It's just that
Yes.
the man comes into a relationship sometimes
Yes.
and not understanding the damage that was already done, to the point where that man kind of start apologizing for it
Yeah.
and trying to help her to get to
get
where
through
she's
it.
right,
Get through it.
because it's a hard situation. It's really, really hard. There hasn't been that many people men, I'm gonna say, it hasn't been that many men who actually have taken more responsibility in what they're doing for them to apologize for it. And then after it's all gone,
Yes.
and the lady done moved on, then you hear that story. I'm sorry, baby. You was the best for me. You was there for me when this, that, and the other.
Yes.
But they're not apologizing for the abuse.
Yes.
And they're not apologizing for the assault. They're not apologizing for nothing really, just more that they need you back.
Yeah.
For what? Once you apologize to yourself as a female,
Yes.
that can't work.
Exactly.
That won't work. But you got to get past it, completely past them. You got to let them go completely out. And if you can't do it, it's never going to get done.
Exactly. Now, dealing with that on an everyday basis. You're waking up in the morning, you're thinking your day is going to be okay, and it's just another repeat of what happened yesterday.
Right.
You try to have your good days. Now, sometimes people have their good days, where everything is, they huddled up together going to the movies and hee-hee-ha. And then that night, something
Kicks off.
that fast done happened, and it set them back off all over again.
Right.
That's a cycle.
That's a horrible cycle. But it does. It does
Yes.
go over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like you could set your watch to it, that it's going to happen.
Yeah. This day is going too well for me.
Yeah, when I get out, it's coming.
This day is going too well.
Wait.
Something's up.
Yeah,
I don't know when it's going to happen.
Like
but something's coming, and I'm feeling it. You know, and you can feel that in your stomach as well, because your stomach is not gonna lie to you. You're like, okay, this day is too well. My stomach is killing me. Yeah.
That late night when y'all lay
Yes.
in bed finally.
Yes.
You up all the rest of the night.
Yeah.
Fussing, y'all
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
things kicking off.
Yeah.
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 It's not okay.
It's never okay.
It's never okay.
Never ever okay.
It's not okay.
So
Yeah.
you sit there, and sometimes we can abuse ourselves by looking for it to happen.
Exactly.
But there's another time where you like, all right, let it go.
Yes.
I know
Yes.
what's happening.
Exactly. Hello, everyone. So how can you forgive someone for sexual abuse and can't trust another male? And fight yourself every day with the giving yourself freely.
Right.
Wow, that's true.
Okay. Hey, Kenyatta. Okay, here we go. It's like you may not forgive the actual sexual abuse itself, but at the same time, you yourself have to try to uplift yourself to a point where that sexual abuse had happened.
Yes.
If you need to talk.
Yes.
You need to go talk.
Exactly.
You need to go for counseling if need be. But if you can find another outlet to help yourself, to heal yourself, you can work your way past it.
Exactly.
A lot of males out here, they still doing a lot of crazy. It is a lot of crazy. And I'm a man, I'm going to tell you, it's a lot of crazy. But at the same time, you still have to try to work yourself through that. And it's like, pick your battles, pick your person that you with. Make sure that you can actually have, if you can't have a regular conversation with them, it don't get no better, so don't go with it.
There's nothing going to change.
It doesn't get any
for
better.
the better. I'm
Right.
just going to let you know. It's going to stay just like that.
And it gets worse.
Yeah.
And you can't, and you must not do it around your kids. You
Exactly.
always make sure you remove it from your kids' sight, because what happens is your kids grow up and have that same
mentality.
Right behind it, and they go right through the exact same thing. Or they grow up and get worse.
Right.
And you got to watch that real heavy.
Right. Exactly. You know, it's a hard thing that all of us deal with. You know, men, women, children. It doesn't matter. There's no, discretion there.
Right.
And abuse is abuse. You know, it's not just, somebody, hitting you and all that. It's all verbal as well. You know, you say something to me first kindly, and the next thing you know, you're cursing me out. You're taking me back to where I don't want to be. You're opening old wounds.
Right.
You're opening old wounds to where I'm afraid, I'm having this fear of you in my stomach, because I am bringing back things I don't really want to remember.
Yeah.
And it's a terrible thing. Hello, Brenda. Welcome. Good evening. Forgiveness, requires to have peace.
Yeah.
It does.
Right.
It really does.
So that's when you start creating your peaceful place, the place
Exactly.
that brings you closer to your own heart, so you can know when at this time I'm calm. By like a little river, a little stream, little outside with fresh air, whatever you can do. Music. A lot of times it's music. A lot of times it's. I actually found some female who actually find peace just in their kids alone.
And that's a beautiful thing.
It's wonderful to see that. But it's like,
that's a beautiful thing, though.
But men, they ain't gonna find a peace like with their kids alone. They gonna look at it like, look, all right, I gotta go away. They gonna look at that like, all right, look, why you here? But after a while, once they start opening up their heart, they actually start feeling it too. But us men look at it like, all right, well,
Yeah.
Kids over here fighting. They fighting here.
Yeah.
And something going on here. So I'm going, how do you find peace in that? But it's like-
You can't. You
but
can't. I'm
you
sorry.
actually-
Yeah.
But you do actually try to work your way through that with some kind of peace. So,
Yeah. But it's a process. It is a process for all of us, like I said earlier, and Buttercup stated, her little time was her cooking because she loves to cook and, her little rides on her motorcycle and things like that, in her little prayer time, that's her time, so she does that. And that's a good thing for her to do, and to keep that routine, going, don't let nothing deter you from, doing your regular thing that you do.
Right.
You're like, look, I need a minute. I need to handle something. I'll be back. Take that ride. Hello. Who's that? Karen? Is that Karen Williams? Karan Williams. Hello. How you doing? Welcome to Let It Out. It's I can't see my glasses. I don't know what's going on. I think I need some glasses because I can't. I'm like calling people's names wrong. But but you have to, like I said, time for yourself. And what's gonna happen is you're gonna leave that situation when you really are tired of it.
Yeah.
You're really tired of it. You're gonna move on.
Right.
And you're going to look back and man, I am free. I'm free. I feel good. I'm not feeling that afraidness in my stomach anymore to go home. I have my own key. I'm putting my key in the door. Exactly. There's nobody there but me. Exactly. You don't have all that. You don't have nobody arguing with you, fighting with you. Yeah. Where would you at? Yada, yada, yada. I'm free. And keep taking that. Those times mean a lot for you. You know what I mean? You got to do that.
Yeah. And it's like one of those things, just as simple, like let me say, a lot of people don't have this same kind of avenue that I do. But a lot of times, my days can be real stressful, real crazy.
Right.
I'm going this way, I'm going that way, and can't get my mind focused. But it's like simple things like my wife would come to me and go, "Baby, you all right?" Then I stop and I start thinking, "Am I all right?" And I do. And after a while, for some reason, I calm down because she'll start talking to me, and that keeps me calm. I'm like, okay, all right. So I have to think about first, am I all right? And then I go, oh. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'm okay.
Maybe you had that look on your face like something was wrong with you, and she identified it. She picked up on it.
See it just as quick. And sometimes Sometimes I believe that she don't see it, but she actually do.
Okay.
So also with your mate, you gotta see where that person is.
Yeah.
Make sure that they are right there with you. They're not with you all the way.
Man,
fighting that battle for yourself.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly.
So you need that that mental state where that person is going to be right there.
Exactly.
To help you get through something. As they used to say, it'll get that monkey off your
back. Yes.
So
get out of here. And silence is a killer.
Whoa, yes it is. Yes it is.
Silence is a killer.
You don't want to sit by yourself
sometimes because your mind is all over the place.
You need to talk. You must talk.
Call. I don't care who you are. Call somebody. Like, look, what are you doing? Can I come over? I need to take some. I need to get some relief off of me. I need to talk to somebody like now. I always tell my friends, I don't care what time you call me, even my family. You going through something, call me. I don't care. That's what the phone is for. Somebody going through something, be an ear. What they're saying to ear. And somebody said, who's this? Who's this here? Oh, Kenyatta? Okay. So I've forgiven my mom for certain things in the past of neglect. And as a grown woman, I want to just have a general conversation. And it's hard to do because the neglect was that resurfaced itself every time she called me with her problems. So what do I do with that? Woo. Okay.
You're not going to fully forgive because no matter if you was watching the abuse episodes that we have done, you're not going to fully forgive. You're going to actually, no matter what answer she give you, it's never going to be good.
It's not. It's not.
It's never going to be right. Even if you're looking for them to
say something that you want. Yeah.
It's never going to be good enough. So, yeah, you talking about with your mom. So that's deep.
That's that's home. That's close.
Deep. That's going to be an even longer battle because that's closer. That's blood. So yeah. It can get crazy.
Yeah, the conversations, they go over the head. You're like, where'd that come from? Why'd you say that to me? You talking about old stuff. Right. Go ahead, leave it alone,
And
but then
that's the worst thing.
It's the worst.
Will never forget the old stuff you've done. They're going to constantly remind you
of it.
And it's going to sit there and hinder you most of your life. Trust me, yeah. They're going to keep reminding you that you did this thing,
yes,
and that didn't work out, so why did that? And then you sit there like, all right, I don't need to talk to you right now. Look, now I got to go to my happy place for a second just because I just
exactly. Right. Yeah, so, Kenyatta, oh my goodness.
That's deep though.
It
especially when it comes from family.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes from and that's mother-daughter.
The close, the oh my God.
And usually mother-daughter is like, woo. Sometimes you don't see.
They be at it.
And then because mother-daughter, they see that energy in each other.
Yeah, like I can't stand. Yeah, look, you look just like me. I don't like you, or you look like your daddy. I can't stand you. No.
It does kick off.
It does. Like, I had to knock her upside her head. Yeah.
You have to really find a place there.
Yeah. You had to do that woosah moment. Oh my gosh. That was that hit.
That was strong.
It was. Definitely. And that's in every family, some families. You're
always going to find a child that finds themselves being neglected as they feel. Sometimes it's not that, but in your heart of hearts, you're going to believe that it's neglect.
Yeah.
And a lot of kids feel that even if they're being showered with all the love that person knows how to do.
Yeah. But it still doesn't make up for what happened.
Right. It doesn't. It doesn't make up for it, but you'll sit there and you try to figure out, why she acting like it never happened, or why he didn't act like it never happened.
Yeah, it exists.
But it happens, it goes through, and in their mind, maybe they forgot about it.
There's
never going to be a time. There's never going to be a time you forget it.
No.
So it's going to be there.
It's always going to be there.
Right.
And as you're growing up, you would think it would go away, but it does not.
Right, it doesn't.
The older you're going to keep remembering those things, like, wow, this happened.
Right.
And they're acting like, and like you said, they're acting like it never happened.
Mm-hmm.
It's there. You know? So, that hit.
Yeah.
That's horrible, and with your children, you're supposed to be close with them, that love for them and everything, and have that closeness with them and talk to them and tell them, this is what happened, let them know. It's going to hurt, but tell them the truth about what happened. Don't lie to them because it only makes it worse.
It does.
It only makes it worse when time goes along and as they get older as well, because they're going to keep coming at you and asking those questions.
Right.
Yeah.
They're going to ask why. Those why questions never end, and it's going to continue because you're going to always have a question for a question for a question for a question. It's never going to stop because you're never going to be satisfied with the answers. So that's when you got to do that self-healing. That you really got to start forgiving. You got to try to get yourself in a better mental place
Yes.
where you can actually start figuring it out for yourself at times.
Yes.
Because sometimes you got a lot of people who's real stubborn. They're not going to seek help.
Yeah.
They're not going to seek any kind of therapy. They're not going to go for any kind of therapy. So they'll sit there and just try to muster all that anger in for no reason. Just hold it until that thing pretty much just hurt you in the end. Then just as soon as you latch onto somebody that you love, it blows right back out your face because you sit there and thinking, oh, I could love this person. I could be with this person. But then all that stuff that you had that you never got rid of, that luggage that you carrying, will all of a sudden pop open and all your stuff is right there. Then how are you going to handle it? Yeah. So then you got to go back into another mental spot where you got to be okay with it. Yeah. Okay with the person that you love knows about it. Okay with the feeling that you're having, but understand that that person is not there to hurt you like the other person did. Exactly. And then you got to trust that all over again. So life is going to be that cycle.
Right. You know, and I've always heard that wasn't me. That wasn't me at that time. You hear those kind of conversations. I saw a program like that where this teenage girl and her mom were at it, and she kept sneaking out the window, going to be with this guy and stuff, and her mom lashed at her she knocked the heck out of this girl. Like, you swear she was a dude, okay? Wow. You swear she was a dude, and it just you act like this never happened. You beat the hell out of me like I was a dude. Right. What made you want to do that to me? And as she got older, when she had her child, guess what happened? She did it to her kid. Yeah. Because she thought, what I say last week? They think it's okay. Exactly. Because they've seen it and they've been through it, so they think it's okay to keep the cycle going. Right. It's a constant thing. Yeah. So, with that, you guys, we are going to say goodnight to you. I thank each and every one of you for tuning in this evening. Thank my special guest, Buttercup, for coming in and letting it out. Yes. Strong woman. And she's coming back next week to give you something else. Fantastic. So you better be ready. Buckle your seat. You know, you ready to take off in the plane? Buckle your seats, okay? And we are signing out off of Plug Studio Network. Thank you, Raphael Jones, for joining me again today. Not a problem. Anytime. And I will see you guys next week. Stay safe.
I'm up against the fight of my life. I'm so afraid to sleep at night. You won't get away. It's time for me to let it out.